Deep in the heart of the rolling Wiltshire countryside is the picturesque Avon Valley. And at its centre, the beautiful, meandering Kennet and Avon Canal. The waterway stretches the 87 miles from Bath in the west to Reading in the east and is a magnet for pleasure boating and family getaways.
I really love being down by the canal. It's a really special place, and despite its industrial past, it's actually a real refuge for nature. People these days are using it for all kinds of leisure and boating activities, and that makes me think I might have an idea what this next space will be. I'm going to go and have a look.
Not far from the picturesque town of Bradford-upon-Avon, single mum Fiona and daughter Robin plan to harness this beautiful spot by creating a dream getaway for guests. But it'll be no typical B&B.
Hi, is that you, Fiona?
Oh, hi, Simon.
Hey, nice to meet you.
Hiya.
She's a cracking-looking barge.
Thank you.
Has she got a name?
Yeah, she's called Romford.
Like in Essex?
Yeah, like in Essex.
I like that.
Built in 1913, Romford is a 72-foot former working barge. It was one of hundreds carrying goods to and from the capital during the canal's industrial heyday. Originally, all but the engine room and a small sleeping cabin would have been open to the elements. Now, in a new business enterprise, Fiona wants to revitalize the barge by creating a bespoke floating B&B.
So you rescued her?
Basically, yeah.
She's great. Can I come have a look inside?
Please do, yeah.
Thanks.
In the 3 years Fiona's owned Romford, she's made her watertight and begun to create a spacious living area with kitchen and wood burner. But now she's run out of steam and needs Simon's help.
Well, you've done quite a lot of work already, haven't you? I like all the timber. Have you insulated it?
Yeah, it's all insulated completely, yeah. The sides, the roof.
I love the fact it's really big and open plan. You don't see that normally in a barge.
Exactly, yeah. I wanted to keep it as open as possible to create as much light.
Yeah. So what else we got in here?
We've got a little kitchen unit with a little butler's sink, and it's all plumbed in at the moment. And then just behind me, there's like a little breakfast bar.
That's good. That's very useful.
Yeah, that's all using like reclaimed scaffold boards.
OK. Well, have you got a cabin back there?
Yeah, there's a tiny little boatman's cabin in there.
Oh,
it's
that's
like a
nice.
double bed.
Yeah, and how many other people would you like to sleep in the boat?
Well, I guess because of the length of the boat, being 72 foot, there's loads and loads of space in here. So, you know, maybe a couple, maybe a family. So potentially another 6 beds, maybe.
6 beds? Wow.
Yeah.
Have we got a bathroom?
No, there's no bathroom at all yet.
Is there anything you'd like to achieve?
Well, I've got an idea that I'd really love to have a bath. That's my, like, dream, to have a bath.
A bath, OK.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Let's keep walking down. That's a big window there.
Yeah, that window's brilliant, isn't it? Yeah, that's an old porthole.
Is that a frame around the window?
Yeah, I made that. Yeah.
That's great.
Thank you.
Straight away, it makes you want to have something looking out there. It's a really nice window.
Yeah, that would be really good.
And then we've got portholes.
Yeah.
Have you got the cover from the hatch, original one?
I haven't got the original cover for this hatch, but I do have the little covers that go onto the circular
Where are they?
portholes. These brass ones.
Oh, nice. Oh, yeah. Can I have a... Great.
Fiona's barge has a long working history, but now that chapter is closed and a new one is about to begin. Its spacious interior and waterside location gives it a unique selling point. And it's down to Simon to turn Romford into an enchanting B&B that just oozes character.
So Romford's a really nice boat, and she's quite a big boat for a barge, but it's still really relatively a small space. At the front of the boat, you've got the built-in berth. That's a double bed, and that's not going anywhere. And the kitchen is located by the hatch. That's the perfect place for it, so it's not moving either. And then the burner is at the end of the kitchen, and that's the seating area, which is also going to have to double up to be a dining space. She wants to put a bath in, and that's unusual in a boat. And it has to be located towards the rear of the boat, because it was stable there, and we can partition off that space. And then we've got the middle of the boat to play with. We've got to find 2 more locations for sleeping, enough to sleep 4 people. So there's still quite a bit of space to work with. I'm just going to sit here and ponder it.
It's a big job, so Simon has called in some helpers. Friends of Fiona's are pitching in. And Simon has his own team, who are expert at transforming awkward spaces into luxury places. There's designer Zoe Hewitt, who's skilled at making rooms feel cosy and homely. While carpenter Ian Tsang knows how to add a touch of magic to tricky spots. Both will need all their creative powers if they're to turn this barge into a bijou B&B. So it's all aboard as Simon's keen to brief his shipmates on what needs to be done.
Welcome to Romford. She has cracked on with a few things, including the hatch, which looks really nice, and she's done a bit of painting of some of the stuff that was here before, but other than that, we've pretty much got our bare canvas. She's got a bath, and we're going to make a bathroom space at the back of the boat.
Okay.
Also, we've got to find a sink, but she has found this nice door. There's a pair of them, which has got a nice ironwork top, and I think, Zoe, that would really do with some colour behind it.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to build that partition wall and enclose that bathroom space off. And then the big ask is that Fiona wants additional sleeping for another 4 people.
How many?
So that's 6 people in total. There's a bunk right at the front, the berth, which has always been there and we're going to keep, which is a double. But I don't think we can do too much with that other than give it a real colour transformation. But somewhere in this space, we've got to find additional 4-person sleeping space.
Right, okay.
Which is tough, I think. Have you got any thoughts on the storage area and whether we can make that a bed?
I think we can definitely have a look at doing that, but I think there's probably a few other options as well. So the good thing is we've got a lot of space to work with.
Great. All throughout this, Zoe, we need to be able to thinking about the colour scheme.
I think I need to go outside and have a look around for some inspiration and find something that's going to work really nicely with all this wood.
Yeah, there's a lot of wood. Great, well, let's just crack on with it.
The picturesque Kennet and Avon Canal has always been a busy thoroughfare. Despite that, the waters still exude a sense of tranquility.
For people who come to stay on Fiona's boat, I think it will be a really nice, secluded, peaceful sort of experience.
And it's this natural serenity which gives this location its unique selling point.
So you know the area well.
Yeah, I do know it well. I've been here for about 10 years now.
And what was your main reason for wanting to rent out the space?
I guess I thought I'm just really lucky to have the boat. You know, it's a beautiful space. Everybody loves it. It's so tranquil. And I thought it'd be a good source of secondary income for me and for my daughter. And I've got such a unique space that I thought it would be great, you know, for people to enjoy it, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a cracking location.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It really is.
To harness the picturesque qualities of the canal, Zoe has gone for a colour palette of blues.
I'm thinking about how to cover up the, I don't know what to call them, wall panels. One's sort of half-tiled and one's black, and I thought it'd be nice to put some colour in there. But it's an awkward shape.
She starts by giving the kitchen area a simple makeover. While Zoe works her magic, Ian gets started on making a second bench big enough to give Fiona the seating for 6 that she needs.
So we're going to mimic this bench for a much longer bench on the other side of the table. We're going to take the dimensions from it, which is 400 high for the main panel, front panel, and that's also 380 deep. And then we're going to have it 2 metres long so we can get a lot of people sat around this table.
The space the team has to work with may look big, but it's narrow, and accommodating up to 6 guests at any one time will be a challenge. Simon wants to give Fiona some ideas on how to maximise the space, so he's taking her to see an unusual B&B in nearby rural Somerset.
Now, the building we're going to see is different to yours. It is a defined space, but they've had to separate it up by the use of walls. But I think it's got some great ideas. Just go and have a look.
Yeah, okay.
So this is the space. It's what they call a safari tent.
Wow.
There we go. There we go.
Oh, wow. It's got walls.
Yeah. As you can see, it's quite an open plan living space, you know, and the colour of the tent is followed through in the rest of the room. It is quite muted. I think we could use more colour in your space.
Yeah.
The Tall Trees Safari Lodge gets its name from the nearby poplars. And like Fiona's barge, it's one long, oblong living space. The natural wood and muted colours add to the sense of harmony that flows through the tent. And Simon is keen to show Fiona how dividing the room into living, eating and sleeping zones really works.
So that's one of the things that strikes me straight away, is they've cleverly managed to create a really strong sense of divided space by use of these wooden partition walls. You
Yeah.
can see that. And they've actually managed to get 2 bedrooms and then an extra double bed space, which I really like, this cosy.
Oh, wow.
It's like a higher bunk, double bed size space.
like that.
With storage underneath.
Yeah.
And then another feature which I really like in small spaces, rather than normal doors, we've got pocket
Oh,
doors,
that's so cool, yeah.
which take a lot less space.
Yeah.
And there's a really strong theme of this distressed wood running through it. And then one of the features that they've also got throughout the building, and it goes really well with the distressed wood, is the use of these copper lights. So they have quite simply made copper lights there, but also homemade standard lights. And beside the bedside lights are also handmade copper lights. And that combination really works well. I think that's something we could definitely use in your boat.
Okay.
Romford is one of the many barges and narrowboats moored on the serene Kennet and Avon Canal. And it's down to designer Zoe to make it feel very much part of this waterside community. These colourfully painted flowers traditionally adorn narrowboats, and Zoe wants to keep the ritual alive on Fiona's boat.
I'm really liking the colourful roses all over the boat. I think they look really good on canal boats. They look a bit naked without them. And it's something I've always fancied having a go at, actually. So maybe I could try them on the side of Fiona's boat.
Over in the work tent, Carpenter Ian has started making the bench that'll act as additional seating in the dining area near the wood burner.
The bench is coming together, it's got its sides on, it's also the same dimensions as the smaller box inside. And now I need to just put a larger top seating area and a base in it, and then we can paint it up and put it back in.
And as the team crack on, back in Somerset, Simon has arranged for Fiona to meet Jono, the owner of the safari tent, to find out how he's turned it into a successful B&B.
There's nothing like the experience of running a business to find out all those little things that work and they don't work. So it's a great opportunity for you to ask him any questions you think might work for your business. Let's go and have a chat.
Okay.
So hi, Jono. Nice to meet you. This is Fiona.
Hi, Fiona.
Hiya.
It's been really great to see your safari tent. It's a very different space to Fiona. Fiona's got this really historic narrowboat, but there's some great ideas I think we're going to be able to take from it. Could you tell me how it all started?
We came to England 18 years ago from Kenya, so kind of the inspiration with the safari tent is the Kenya theme. And my mother set up holiday cottages, And when I finished uni, I wanted to expand out here. And so, yeah, that's what we've been doing since then.
So how long have you had the business for?
So 2.5 seasons we've done so far. And it's been going great.
Has it?
Yeah.
Do you get booked up?
We do indeed, yeah. It's really nice this year because we're having people come back that have been here before and coming with friends and families, so.
Yeah. Is there any advice you give me?
Yeah, do lots of market research, find out about other places that are doing something similar to you.
Yeah.
And you'll get a good idea on the rates you can achieve.
Yeah.
Fiona, I'm going to ask you a question. How much do you think this safari tent is rented for each night?
For the whole tent?
Yeah.
I don't know, £300?
No, that's a bit steep. We charge anywhere from £100 a night to £185, depending on the time of the season. And we don't charge per person, we just charge for the lodge.
Well, brilliant. Thank you. It's been really inspiring to come and have a look around your place. We're going to go and chat about the narrowboat now, but thanks for your time and good luck.
Yeah, it's been lovely to meet you.
Great, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Back from Somerset, Simon wants to see how work on the bench is coming along.
How are you getting on, eh?
Yeah, good, thanks. It's pretty much made. It just needs a bit more tidying up, cleaning off, the rough edges taken back.
And are we going to paint this black like the other one?
Yeah, let's do it so it matches everything inside.
Brilliant.
With the bench finished, work turns to the interior of the barge.
It's just for support.
Fiona and Simon were inspired by their visit to the safari tent. The copper added a spark of luxury that Fiona is keen to make more of. She's already added strips of copper to the portholes and hatch. Now she wants to extend the idea to the bathroom.
That's it. And then we've got the stone trim to go around these two sides. Great.
And as a final splash of copper, the team installs a jam pan for a sink. Fiona wants to sleep up to 6 guests in Romford to maximise her income. With a small 2-person cabin at one end, Simon must come up with a plan to sleep 4 more while still maintaining that all-important open plan feel.
So I think I've got a good idea. I'm slightly inspired by the space we went to see where they'd made a really unusual, almost like a bunk bed, where you climbed up and over the storage. And it's a good example of using a bed space differently. And what I'm thinking here is if we could utilise fold-away bunks, this space could still be used and keep the open plan feeling. And I'm slightly inspired by what I've seen on Indian trains, which are these bunks that come down at night when you want to sleep in them, and they hang on chains. So perfect size for an adult-sized bunk. And then it would pivot out and hang on a chain, and then there'll be a lower bunk doing the same here. It pivots up into this space, so it's tucked away, it's out of the way, and it folds down, and that will just rest on the floor when you need it.
But first, Simon needs to attach batons that will secure the bunks firmly to the wall. This will work if he incorporates them into the frame for the ornate bathroom doors that Fiona has found.
There's no levels because we're on a boat and we're listing like this and we're listing like that. So what I've had to do is, I've had the doors mocked up together so they were sticking there as if they were hung already, and I've made the frame go around that. It's totally opposite to the way you'd normally frame and hang a door, which would all be perfectly level and square. This is with the boat. And I think it's going to work.
Inspired earlier by the floral patterns that traditionally decorate narrowboats, Zoe now wants Fiona and daughter Robin to help her paint some on Romford.
So I've got a practice board first, because I thought that might be sensible.
Maybe.
I've never actually done this before, but I have painted other things. So the first thing I'm going to do is paint a disc.
It's a nice pink.
And then next we layer it up with a little bit of red. something like that. And then I can try and put a few details on top. So it's a sort of half moon kind of shape.
So you're just adding white to accentuate the petals, or?
I don't want to overwork it, actually.
It's the problem painting anything. You want to keep
It's hard to know when to stop.
You want to keep going and going because you're enjoying it so much, and then actually you just have to stop at the right time and do something else.
It's totally true. They taught me that at art college, actually. Stop, have a look from far away, and then think, is it finished? It might actually be done. But
It looks good.
yeah, we can put some leaves around it as well to give it a bit more detail. Do you want to come and have a go?
Yeah.
Come on then.
That looks good.
Yeah, it looks great. Awesome. Nice one, Robin.
It's great.
It's fantastic. Shall we have a go on the side of the actual boat now?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, red first, I reckon.
With the bathroom doors finished, Simon can start work on the bunk beds. But if his plan of attaching them to the concave boat wall is to work, he'll need to get Ian involved, as it's a two-man job.
So we're thinking bunk beds is the way to go to create the flexible extra 2 spaces in the boat. They'll be flat against the wall, and then they're going to fold out. And I've been inspired by the old Indian railway carriage bunks, which they have hanging on chains. So we've got some chain, and that will be attached to D-rings from the roof and the bunk. And then, if you remember the shape of the boat, it's slightly angled, and it steps in, and then the hull actually continues down like that. So what we need to do is attach a block which has got the depth of the bunk, hinged here, and when it's closed will sit like that, with this being the insulated part of the bed. And it's got its chain stabilising it to the roof. So what we're going to do here now is cut up the ply. It's going to be 750 wide, 2 metres long. So if you could cut me 2 of those 750 by 200s, I'm going to go and see if I can fix these big timbers in.
Right, great. Sounds
Great.
good.
As Ian gets on with cutting out the boards that will double as bunk beds, Fiona and Robin extend their painting skills to the little cabin at the front of Romford. They want to turn their boat on the Kennet and Avon Canal into the ultimate holiday getaway. In London, one boat owner has already successfully done that.
So this is Merchant Square, and it's this lovely floating pocket park right in front of the boat.
Cara's wide-beamed barge is perfectly located in the heart of Paddington. What's more, it has that all-important wow factor, both outside and in. Cara has designed the interior to offer a very distinctive type of Scandi chic. The bedroom, bathroom, and kitchen all exude luxury, which has helped turn this B&B into a thriving business. But how did it all begin?
I started the boathouse because I I couldn't really find anything like it myself to stay in. So I put some designs together and went out and found some boat builders who reluctantly decided to build it. But yeah, it was just something that was away from the sort of normal traditional style of a canal boat. My family have always been really into boats and have worked with them as well, so that's definitely how I got the connection to the boat builders. But also I did see a sort of gap in the market where I didn't think that anybody was doing what we've done.
In designing the interior, Cara was keen to move away from the traditional narrowboat look and create a perception of space.
This is my favourite room of the boat. So we've got the really nice roll-top bath and a big shower as well. So it feels really open and big and luxurious. And I think, you don't always expect to get that on a boat. We wanted to make the bedroom really big and spacious because, again, it kind of gives you that feeling of luxury as well, which you don't always get on a canal boat. Sometimes it can feel quite sort of cramped.
She's also added bespoke features to appeal to all types of guests.
We've got this really nice projector screen here, so people can pop our projector just up on the table and they can sit and have movie night. So the kitchen island is actually on wheels here, so you can move it right back into the sort of kitchen area if you want extra space throughout the lounge.
But converting the barge into a viable business wasn't plain sailing. It took 2 years just to get the project off the ground.
There was a lot of setbacks along the way, boat builders saying that they would go ahead with things and then not because it was too bespoke, and then saying yes, and then moorings falling through, and then having to find other places. So it was a lot of sort of pushing forward, and I guess it did take a lot of determination to make it work. But it's definitely paid off, I would say. Having a boat is not the easiest thing. It's certainly not like having a flat or a house or something on land. A lot of people see it and it's really beautiful, but if you're wanting to run a business like this, you need to know that it's hard work, behind the scenes, and you need to be okay with doing all the, physical sort of getting your hands dirty stuff.
Cara's business is now thriving. With a second boat up and running and a third in production, she's certainly captured the luxury market.
So the cost is £360 per night, and that's for the entire boat. And in 2019, we were booked every single day of the year. So it doesn't seem to affect it whether it's summer or winter. We perhaps get slightly more inquiries in the summer, but to be honest, in the winter, we put all the nice sheepskin rugs out and the fire's on, and it's really cozy, Scandi chic. So, it's lovely in the summer and in the winter.
Heading back west to the Avon Valley. Simon and Ian are now ready to install 2 bunk beds at the bathroom end of the barge. But attaching them to the ceiling of the boat is not going to be easy.
So I guess we'll just be sort of looking for a right angle to the bed with the chain hanging.
Yeah.
Especially as the bunks need to be strong enough to hold the weight of a grown person.
It feels steady. I'm going to put it at 230. That's the rib.
That might, is it?
Yeah, happy with that? Great.
I need a helmet on to get onto this. Oh, oh. You know what? It's actually very stable. And there's a good amount of space here as well, so you don't feel like you're too sort of claustrophobic and trapped in. So yeah, it's really nice.
To make the most of Romford's handmade wood interior, Zoe has come up with something to complement the natural look. What's more, it's totally unique.
I found some really nice fabric it's blue with a little bit of gold in it, so I've got this kind of gold mustardy yellow. So I think that'll look quite nice. The first thing you need to do is make a loop in the end of your wool. Make sure it's big enough that you can get it up over your arm. There we go. So that's casting on. The next thing is I'm going to take this over the back of my hand and then over the front. And then I'm going to reach behind this wool to there. And then I'm pulling a bit through there. And then I let go of the middle one and I take that one. There we go. It's quite therapeutic once you get into a rhythm with your looping.
As Zoe wrestles with the yarn, Ian has started work on the porthole covers, essential for a bit of privacy.
Just marking out so that this hinge can sit on the wall of the narrowboat and also sit on the porthole. It'll be on the reverse, obviously. Now I'm going to router out this curve and this curve and cut out this section with another saw. So I've used my original porthole cover as a template to knock up this second one, and I've sanded it nice and smooth so it's ready for the guys to paint. Nice, so as you can see, it fits quite well. There might be a little bit of adjustment to do. We're going to sand this all back, clean it all up and paint it, and then that'll be the finished porthole.
The finish line is in sight, not only for the porthole covers, but Zoe's knitted blanket.
So far, so good. I think I'm nearly finished, actually. One more row, and then I'm going to try and cast off. I hope I can remember how to do it.
Zoe isn't the only one hard at work creating. Fiona is putting the final touches to the porthole covers before Ian installs them. She's keen Romford's colour scheme also ties the elements inside together.
This sort of dark blue goes really well with gold, so I think against the brass portholes it should look beautiful. Just seeing it come together now, it's so exciting.
There you go, all yours.
So we've got the porthole cover back from the painters. So I'm just going to stick it on to the hinges.
And with the building work complete, it's now about getting those small but all-important details just right.
Finally, we've got the little clasp for our sash clamp. And there we have it. A nice porthole cover that blocks out all the light.
With Fiona and her daughter Robin now gone from the site, Simon and his team can put the final touches to Romford. Just a few weeks ago, Romford was a mere half-finished shell of a barge. After putting a roof on her and adding a kitchen area, her owner had simply run out of inspiration.
Have we got a bathroom?
No, there's no bathroom at all yet.
It was a long way from the luxury B&B Fiona had in mind. That is, until now.
Oh, wow. This looks amazing. What do you think?
What do you think, guys? It's changed a bit.
Yeah.
Just a bit, yeah. It looks incredible.
Yeah, there's lots of hard work gone into it. The team's done really well.
Can't believe you've done this. It looks great.
So yeah, we've ended up using the trestle table. I mean, originally I was thinking of making a table, and then when I realised it was going to be basically the dimensions of a trestle table, I thought, that's exactly what we need to use. It folds away, and we've got a place for it against the back wall over there, and we've got a big, long storage bench going in, and so I reckon you could probably seat 8 people. When you get a chance to go and look in the front berth, it's now transformed into this really amazing snuggle spot. You want to climb in, and it's great. And Zoe's done this amazing pickup of blue throughout the boat, and it's a really nice way of bringing in splashes of colour. Should we go and have an explore in the middle of the boat?
My goodness.
So, the solution for the middle of the bed was a futon sofa, which can fold down and sleeps 2 people, and is looking straight out of that view, which if you look behind, that frame, which you'd put in, is now been painted
Oh, wow, that's
gold.
amazing.
And I think it stands out really well, doesn't it?
Wow, look at the way it's done.
And then this table collapses when we're not dining and goes clipped against the wall back over there. And then what you've got on all the portholes is this, they're mag catched,
Oh, wow.
and then they lap shut when you want to sleep at night.
So cool.
And then obviously we've got the space just before the bathroom where we've got the fold down bunks. So come on over, this is the bunks. And I was inspired a bit by the Indian railways. I don't know if you've ever been to India. They have, on the railway carriages, they have fold down bunks so that everybody can sleep on the big long journeys overnight. And obviously these fold away as well. Let me just release the chains. Get them out of the way. And then they latch up. Same again with the bottom bunk. On both of the bunk spaces.
That's just brilliant.
And then you've got all this space back again, so it's multiple use. So we've got our 6 sleeping berths now. We've managed to fit it all in.
Great, isn't it?
And then obviously we've got the doors that you found, which have upcycled really, really well. We've put the colour behind the metalwork, hung them in the new wall that we've built, and then behind there is the bathroom that you installed with the copper bath and the copper jam pan, which are really nice. So what do you think?
It looks brilliant, doesn't it? The design, the idea of it is great because you've still got the space.
We've still got usable
yeah.
space. So obviously this has been a real team effort. Zoe and Ian have done a real blinder on this, and it's finished, which is great. And I guess I'm wondering how much you think you're going to charge when you rent this place out.
150?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, £150 sounds about right.
£150
Definitely.
a night?
Yeah.
I think that
Yeah.
sounds pretty reasonable.
Definitely. Yeah.
Great.
We could do that.
Well, I wish you lots and lots of luck.
Thank you.
I think there'll be lots of people who want to come and stay on a beautiful Romford barge.
Thank you so much. I mean, it looks incredible. It really does. Looks brilliant.
Good, I'm glad you like it.
And as a finishing touch, a professional signwriter is sprucing up the barge's name and date.
It's great, isn't it?
So cool.
Yeah, and the best bit, I love these bunks, the way that the space is used, because when they're up, you've still got all the space around,
And it's
which
really
is just brilliant.
cool. And when someone's lying down here, they can see the flowers.
They can see the flowers. Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, it just looks incredible. Like it really does. It's just. What do you think?
Oh, I love it.
It was a big job, this one, because it is a big boat and we were trying to fit a lot into it, and so that made it feel like a really small space. There's been some real highlights. I'm really satisfied with the way the fold-down chain bunks have worked, and Ian's portholes combined with Zoe's flowers are just the bee's knees.